I don't know if my mic's gonna come up clean, so pardon me. Give me a second. Make sure the audio coming in just fine, bro. Because this phone be weird. Choo 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 choo. All right, we working?
All right, we working?
Yeah, we in it, bro. I'm trying to make sure I was coming in clean. This phone has a problem with going on speaker for some reason I can't understand. I don't think I'd ever would understand. I think I'm meant to understand, but it is what it is. Anyway, I need to play some jams, bro. That's what I need to do. And then make sure jams ain't coming in too hot. So the point of this stream, believe it or not, is we gonna discuss love, bro. The sweet, tender aroma and feeling of love. I don't want to hear this in my ear. I should have done this on Valentine's Day, but I had so many other things planned. Honestly, I didn't even accomplish half the things I wanted to do for Valentine's Day. But I feel like since we still in the month of love, the season of romance and all that other nonsense, bro, we might as well speak about this. You know what I'm saying? So, quickly, what is your take when you hear the words love, right? When you think of relationship, well, these freaking dusties from the car. Anyway, you think relationship, like what do you envision your ideal relationship being? I've had heard so many things in this 1 month about relationships. I have dealt with relationships in this 1 month more than I have, that sounds hoish, than I have ever dealt with in my life. And that's just because the fact of like people suck, bro. People suck entirely. I'm just skipping through like random shit. I don't really know what I'm gonna be on about. Because I'm just uncomfortable about doing this little vertical you and me talk thing, not playing the game. The game is usually like a crutch for me, but it is what it is. But for real, uh, I've had friends talk about their relationships recently. Close friends, personal friends, friends that I've known for the past year, friends that I've known all my life, and some shit they do and they go through just don't be making no sense for real, for real. I can't explain it in any other way than if you don't want to be with someone, fucking don't be with them, right? And if you want to be with someone, make sure you give everything, 100%, not just a 50%. Let them do their half, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta do 100% to whatever percentage they have, right? And if at some point you feel like whatever they're offering you ain't enough, then dip out. You know what I mean? Just go, be gone. Don't stay around. You don't have. There's no obligation to stay around. I was with someone for like 8 years, 8 years of my life that I will never get back, and that's 8 years of like their life that they're never gonna get back. Unfortunately, it is what it is. But to me, what matters in that 8 years is not how it ended. It's not the ending, the conclusion we came to. It's what I gave them the entire duration of that 8 years. And if I gave it to them because I wanted them to have that, because I felt like that's what they deserved, or did I give it to them because that's what I should have just done? A lot of y'all don't think like that. When you get in a relationship with someone, it's like, oh, what can I get out of this? What are they going to give me? What do I deserve from this person? And that's where the biggest fumble in the relationship happens is that you get too fixated on what can be gained from the relationship rather than what you should be doing, not giving, what you should be doing. Unfortunately, that's where the fumble and the fail becomes. And the bigger part of that is complacency because once you start being treated the way you should be treated, once you start getting validated as a human being, once you start getting that sense of value from another person, you get comfortable. When you get comfortable, that complacency stops you from growing. And when you stop growing, you start lagging behind the other person because the maturity difference becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's where the people who are complacent start to realize that they're failing in a relationship. And sometimes it's not just the other person, sometimes it's you. You ever stop and think that you are the problem? And even if you do stop and think that you are the problem, have you ever thought about how you can change from being the problem, right? If you can't lead in a relationship, you can't expect to be followed. And if you're expecting to be followed, what kind of example are you setting for that relationship? And some of y'all don't get that. I struggled with getting it for a very long time. I can be real with you. I was toxic a lot. What is up, Buzz? How you doing? High five. Bam. I was toxic my entire high school like relationship life. Like it was so bad. I can't even know. Like I don't know how to explain it. But I was a piece of shit. Why? Because I just felt like the world was naturally just toxic. Like you couldn't be in a relationship with no one. You could even trust anyone, be it your friends. We talk about the schlove, Casey. You couldn't even be like in friendships without feeling like you're gonna get stabbed in the back. But like that shit ridiculous that you even felt that. But like I just didn't care. So I was hopping in and out of relationships, 2 weeks tops. I wouldn't spend Valentine's Day. I wouldn't spend a holiday with any. I just was doing my thing. I just didn't care, right? If you got hurt, you got hurt. That was on you. But at least, I was honest about the intentions and everything in my mind and in my heart that I felt came out at the start. People feel like if they tell their intentions off rip, they don't get what they want. And that's why the fuck y'all cause relationships to be a problem. If you're just honest about what you want off rip and upfront about it, you're either gonna get it and that's gonna be it, or you're not. But just because you didn't get what you wanted doesn't mean that that's the end all be all. And like I know the mindset of certain guys and certain girls today is if I don't get what I want, why am I going to be here? Well, stupid. Why are you here in the first place if that's how you were thinking? You know what I mean? Like I can never fathom the mindset and the thinking of certain like modern day relationships and shit. And I feel like most of the people that had good potential to be better people, they failed by choice, by fucking choice. And it's not just from like things I've dealt with and speaking about people I was in a relationship with. It's just seeing things in life. You got people out here who are so what's the word I can use here? Dang, bro, I can't even say dedicated because y'all never like that. Infatuated, so infatuated with the other person, right? Because you feel like, oh my God, this person is different from the last person without realizing that it's the same shit of the last person, right? So, like, you'll jump into a new relationship, keep forgetting that somehow in the first 3 months is a puppy love phase. You're going to treat that person good, they're going to treat you good. You just don't know each other, you don't understand each other. So, since you don't understand each other, you're going to give the best versions of each other to the other because you don't want this person to run off and think, like, oh, damn, I'm a bad person. But then when you reveal your true colors, you get mad. You get mad at this person not liking who you are now, and then somehow that person's bad because they just got what they wanted or they just use you. However you feel, right? You did that to yourself because you didn't reveal who you were as a whole at the beginning because you felt like if you're going to be honest, it was going to turn this person off. If your honesty turned them away, they ain't belong in your life. Period. If your goals and your life ambitions and your daily schedule, how you are so dedicated to how you do something, turn that person off and turn them away, you ain't lose nothing there, partner. Not at all. People just think that it's as simple as putting on a persona for another human being and then living in that persona is enough to make things last. And that's just not it. That's not it. And I've had, again, relationships 8 years long, 2 months long, a day long, overnight, fucking 5 minutes, a single interaction. And everything that I've learned is that if you can't be upfront about the intentions on both sides, it's going to be a problem. How you handle the problem is much more important. Uh, I'm a firm believer of that if you have problems between you and your partner, you don't run to someone else. But if you don't have anyone to vent to, then it's understandable when you find people that you feel like you can talk to, that you vent out, how you feel. And that's okay. Just, don't let them be the reason why you decide what goes on in your relationship. If they are that influential on your relationship, a serious relationship, I don't really think you understand what a serious relationship is. Because if you can't talk to your partner about these things, that's not your partner. That person, if you feel like you think will understand you or they just don't get it and you've tried, skadoodle skedaddle, you gotta get addle. Like I don't know what else to tell you there on that behalf. It's common sense, for real, for real. It is what it is. But this entire stream is just being done for the sake of it's love month, bro. I see a lot of y'all down bad. I see a lot of y'all going through it for no reason. Pick your head up, soldier. There's always gonna be another one. There's always gonna be another one. There's always gonna be a better one. And if you can't find a better one because you don't want there to be a better one because you want it to be that person, you gotta accept one of two things. That either you're gonna be there with that person the whole time while they change, or you're just going to accept that you don't want no one else, even if you could be treated better, and that's just the life you want. But if you want that person to excel, you got to give them space. You got to walk away. You got to show them that no matter what goes on, you're going to be there for them, but you refuse to be treated any less than what you're giving out. And if you're just being a piece of shit person and treating someone like garbage and expect them to still be there, then fuck it, fam. You deserve everything coming to you. 100%. 100%. But if you want good things, if you expect good things, you gotta give good things out. You have to do what's right, not because you want to, not because you want to do it for someone else to impress them or show them that whatever the fuck the reason is. You gotta do what's right because it's the right thing to do. Period. Period. Hands down. Whether you like the outcome of doing what's right, whether you don't like the outcome of doing what's right, whether it's gonna suck to lose people, you gotta do what's the right thing to do because it's the right thing to do. No other reason. Exactly. Clap. I have one hand holding up the stand. But that comes in a sacrifice and worth the sacrifice. I believe that if you could predict the outcome of something, you could prevent it. And that's why people probably idolize Batman because he's like the greatest detective, blah 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 blah, fictional character. Yeah, but that's the shit that Batman be doing is common sense. Common sense, bro. You don't have to have big brain energy, bro. You can have a smooth brain and still be able to handle situations as if you were a fucking genius because it's common sense. For real. Don't want to get burned, get your hand off the stove. How dumb can you be? And if you know you're getting burnt, you still put your hand on the stove, you deserve it. Flat out, you deserve it. I don't want to hear anything about learning disabilities, depression, disorders. Fucking, you could be a world class 4.0 GPA genius. You could be someone who's autistic and has learning disabilities. I don't care about none of that. You make your choice because you make your choice, and that's the end all be all. I don't believe in there's such thing as what's meant to be will be. If it's meant to be, it'll happen. I don't believe in that shit because if you just sit by idly and let life play out, it's not going to play out the way that you first hope it will, that you think it will. It's not going to play out like that. It's going to play out the way you're sitting there idly. It's going to play out idly. Ain't shit going to happen. Ain't shit going to go your way. You watched it all go by. So when you hit that stage in your life at any point, not going to say when you get older, it could be tomorrow. But when you hit that stage in your life where you're like, damn, this could have happened had I done something about it. Yes, yes. What's meant to be only became what it was because you made it happen. You made it that way. Your future in your life is going to be what you make it. It's not going to be what you waited for and it became what it was and that's the end all be all of what it is. No, bro. Despite my religious beliefs, despite your religious beliefs, despite not having any religious beliefs, despite fucking what the cosmic stars are telling you, what your zodiac sign says, whatever you go about, whatever your hopes and your faiths are instilled, whatever is meant to be became only because you made it. You have to take action in your life. You have to turn it into something. And the same thing when it comes to this whole love shenanigan. I don't believe if you love something, let it go. Let it go when you realize it's time to let it go. After you exhausted all the options, after you went through all the outcomes, after you put in all the work, and you realize that no matter what was done on your side, their side, our side, both sides, no side, no matter what was done, it didn't work. Then you leave because you don't leave for your own happiness. You're driving that other person insane. You're making that other person go crazy too. You leave for both parties. Like what you said earlier, you leave because it's the right thing to do, simply because it's the right thing to do. If you care about that person, you don't sit there and try to tell them you're gonna change and never fucking offer change, bro. That's not it. How do you want to offer change and expect someone else to change if you're not? How you gonna lie to someone's face and expect to get the truth from them? That ain't it, chief. That ain't it at all. Normally around here we just play games. We don't touch on sensitive topics or personal topics or deep topics as much. But I just got them playing a game where it touched on the topic of suicide, and that shit hit kind of deep for at first. I was like, ah, this can't be right, but it hit kind of deep. Um, I found out there's a whole nother part of that I gotta keep playing, but it is what it is. But nonetheless, on the whole conversation of love and everything, for the fellas first, because I gotta hold it down for the bros. You know what I mean? You can only do so much, and as men, we're expected to be superheroes, bulletproof, invulnerable, steel walls, untouchable, unbreakable. As men, we have high expectations. But you know what the funny thing is? Those expectations are the same thing that as men we feel I think on our shoulders. We have that same expectation for our woman partner, our our male partner, as a female to a female partner. We have these expectations for our partner, period. But in a relationship, someone's going to be seen as indestructible because that person is a support factor without knowing that they need the other person, at least the other individuals know it, you're still that support factor. And spoken from somebody who was a support factor in the relationship for the longest, I felt like I had to be Superman. I feel like I couldn't break down, I couldn't cry, I couldn't show any signs of weakness, because if I show signs of weakness, then that means my partner was going to fall apart in my hands, because if I couldn't solve it, she couldn't solve it. And that broke me every day because I needed to brainstorm all day and night. I think about our problems while she relaxed because I decided to say, look, everything's fine. We'll figure it out. While she's sitting there at ease because she knows that it's going to be solved, I'm stressed out my goddamn mind because I know if I break and I fail, she's going to break. She's going to feel like it's a fail. So I had to man up. Not even man up. I had to grow the fuck up and solve the situation. I spent countless weeks, months. I was even told I wasn't loved anymore. I was treated like I wasn't loved anymore. And the end result for all my hardships, because I was doing what I felt was right, because it was the right thing to do, is that person loves me unconditionally to this day. And I'm always going to love that person to the end of my life period, for sure. But because I love them and I know they love me, that doesn't mean I'm going to constrict them to just being with me because of that love. If she wants to go be happy with someone else, I'm going to let her go be happy. Because there's a point in my life where I was ready to be happy with someone else. And no matter how much she loved me, no matter how much we went through, she was willing to let me go be happy with someone else. That's love. That's love right there. That's some shit you don't find anymore. No envy, no hate for the next person, nothing but high hopes. And even when I doubted that next person, my past partner had faith that that person was going to treat me right, had faith that that person was going to be the key to my happiness. That is crazy. What's up? What else up? What is up? I'm gonna call you Adams, bro. Adams. But your happiness is your happiness. What is going, Peach? What's going? Your happiness is your happiness. It's not decided by this person. It's not decided by any other factor besides you. You can be in a relationship with somebody that's gonna make you the happiest, but you know what? That happiness isn't because you gave them control. You maintain that control. If you let others affect your happiness, partner or not, you're gonna be a miserable piece of. I'm shit, bro. I'm gonna say it straight up what it is. They contribute to that happiness. They don't have control. Remember, they contribute, they do not control. Two things that you shouldn't let no one in this world affect is your happiness and your joy. These are your things. No matter who comes into your life, these will always be your things. No one could touch that. No one should be able to affect that. Only you. And it works, unfortunately, the same way for your partner. You're not in control of their happiness. That's found out this morning. Edgar, bro, listen. If she's been seeing this person, right, you got to think about what you've done for the relationship. If you were there the entire time, if you stuck around and you put 100% into it, bro, and this is what they want to do, it's going to hurt. But just be happy with the fact that you did it right. You know what I mean? You put the whole thing in. You did the best you can do. And because you did the best you can do, that person didn't see the value in that, they lost. They lost. They got to go. They got to just skadoodle, skedaddle, and beaddle. They got to go. It's not a debate. It's not something you should consider. It's not something you should over process, overthink about, have high anxiety. If that person fumbled you and you gave everything, that's their loss. You're dub. Because something better is bound to come. And if nothing ever comes, you should find happiness in the fact that like it's better off that you didn't waste your time with something even more potentially toxic, equally as toxic, and you found happiness in yourself. Again, like I talked about, it should be unaffected by anyone else but you. Fuck that bitch. Bro, and for the ladies, fuck that guy if he did the same thing, bro. Well, fuck it. It is what it is, bro. And I can't explain it any other way than that. Like I get heartbroken only because my expectations for the other person are way too high. I appreciate you. I'll get you a hug right now. A hug and a high five and a dap and the elbow. Yeah. Way too much energy for the morning, bro. I ain't had coffee yet. I ain't have chocolate milk. I ain't have nothing. But I got you, bro. That's it's love month, and so I'm just here spreading out the love and the knowledge for all people who want to hear it. Male, female, Doberman, guinea pig, fucking caterpillar, whoever needed, they get it. And plus, I keep seeing a lot of like my friends going through it too. Like, exactly. I appreciate the clap. Yeah. It's just we get so enwrapped in the wrong things, and it's just not it. Listen, I haven't had flowers for any Valentine's Day period in my life. I haven't gotten gifts for Valentine's Day. I didn't even get to spend time with an individual on Valentine's Day. This is the first year ever that I got something. And I got gifts from the person who probably hurt me the most, but also was my biggest supporting factor in my life. And is still there to this day. No matter what mistakes they made, she's still around. No matter what mistakes I've made, I'm still around. And because we're still around, we support each other and only expect the best. Those are the kind of people you want to keep in your life. That shit about, oh, well, that's your ex. And you shouldn't have your ex around, especially if you're gonna have a new relationship. Who are you? Where were you in my life when I had nobody? And this person was there. And then since you're coming in and you want to be my future, you think you're gonna dictate who was important in my life and how they gotta go. You can express your role. You can express your concerns. You can express the boundaries and the compromises we can come to. But telling me to remove someone who was my spine when I didn't have legs to stand is crazy. I don't need that. I wouldn't do it to you. Don't do it to me. But those people are often the ones who say that and have relationships on the side with their exes and are doing some shit. That's the difference between me. I'm upfront, transparent about everything. If you want to know, you're gonna know. Then even if you don't want to know, I'm gonna tell you. And if it makes you feel uncomfortable because I was oversharing or telling too much, then speak. But I would much rather you know that these people are still in my life and they're in my life the way they are in my life. Like they're not doing any more, they're not overreaching. But no one is gonna reciprocate that energy, unfortunately. I've had someone try to talk to me recently and invest so much energy of equal reciprocation just for them to still keep playing games. The fuck out of here, shoo, shoo. Nobody got time for that. You don't got time for that. You don't want it done to you. I do it to me. I call it out though. I don't just let it ride. But not really sure what else to touch up on the topic. Be better. Not for them. Not for people who have perspective on your relationship. Your relationship is with you. You got that person because that's your future. That's the way you see it. Fuck their family. Fuck their friends. If they have kids, that's a different story. My son's always gonna be my guiding key to my next relationship. If he don't like you, shit, I don't like you. Unfortunate for you, ain't. But their family, their friends, they're not with you. They're not in a relationship with you. Shit, they probably won't even be around. Don't let that decide on you being with someone, no matter what it is. I don't care if you have such a great connection with that family. If they can't keep that connection after the relationship failed, they never really cared about you. They cared about what you're giving to their family member or their friend. They don't care about you. It is what it is. Unfortunate. But keep your head up. Be better. Do better for you and only for you. Because if you can't for you, you can't for your partner. And if you can't for your partner, y'all better off alone. On that note, I think I said enough about the topic of love. Shit, I'm probably gonna walk down the street and get myself some flowers. Self care is highly important as well. If nobody gonna treat you good, treat yourself good. Hey, hey, what is going down here? Sorry, get ready to end the stream, and I had to look down the phone for a second. Get messages. Appreciate the hearts, appreciate all y'all. But listen, if nobody told you today that you're loved, thank you for stopping by. I love you. I don't give a fuck if I don't know you, bro. You deserve the love equally. Bruh, sister, fucking gopher, whatever you is, I love you. But I'm just gonna do it all here. Again, self care time. And I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna hop back on the sticks, play some Call of Duty for a little bit, or play some random game. Who even knows? But for the kings out there, bro, the crown's on your head for a reason. No matter what kind of condition the crown is, it's there for a reason. Lead by example. And for the women out there and the queens, you have so much influence over every relationship. Use that influence for good. Get treated the way you should be treated. Don't settle for less because us guys aren't going to settle for less. And it doesn't matter if it's guy with guy, girl with girl, whatever, whoever's a supporting factor, be that example. Be what you want someone else to be. If you could predict it, y'all could prevent it. If you could do better, you will do better. There's no such thing as meant to be. It's what we made to be. I'll catch y'all later. Peace. What's that?